Let's have a look at solving equation example when a is greater than 1. So the 2x squared minus 6x minus 7 equals 0 is the example that we just went through for completing the square when we just had the expression and we weren't solving the equation. So we have two options here. We can complete the square on 2x squared minus 6x minus 7 in the same way as I've just been through and then solve the equation. Alternatively, what we could do, because we've got equals 0, we could actually divide everything through by 2 first to get rid of that 2 in front of the x squared term, because I've got equals 0 on the right hand side. So dividing both sides of the equation by 2 would leave me with x squared minus 3x minus 7 over 2 equals 0. By doing this, although we've been left with a fraction here, 7 over 2, and do leave it as a top heavy fraction, we don't have a is greater than 1 anymore in front of our x squared term. So when we go to complete the square, that makes completing the square easier. So again, if we just look at the first two terms, x squared minus 3x, and we do set up our brackets, halve our minus 3 gives me minus 3 over 2. Square minus 3 over 2 is 9 over 4. Subtract it gives me minus 9 over 4. And then we just need to pop the minus 7 over 2 on the end. And remember, it still equals 0. In order to simplify this, I've got my x minus 3 over 2 squared minus 9 over 4. Let's have a common denominator here so I can subtract those fractions. So 7 over 2 is equivalent to 14 over 4. Remember, I still equals 0. Simplifying the last two terms, minus 9 over 4 minus 14 over 4 is equal to minus 23 over 4 equals 0. Now I'm set up in a position where I can solve the equation. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 23 over 4 to both sides. I've got x minus 3 over 2 all squared equals 23 over 4. Then I'm going to square root both sides, not forgetting I need a plus or minus. Make sure my square root sign is big enough to go over the whole fraction. And then I'm going to add 3 over 2 to both sides. So what I end up with is x equals 3 over 2 plus or minus the square root of 23 over